Right now, Kareem Tabsch joins me. He's the program director of the Miami Gay and Lesbian Film Festival. Is that right?
That's right. Thanks for having me.
And I'm so happy that you took some time to sit down here and talk about this great film festival, because you always bring in some great stuff. But before we get to all those things, I wanted to ask, what year is this for the film festival?
This is our 12th annual film festival.
How long have you been associated with it?
I would have been, this is my 8th year, I believe. 8 years.
That's so you've seen a lot of great things come and go.
I've seen a lot of great things come and go. Absolutely, it's been really interesting to see the festival change and see how queer and LGBT filmmaking has changed, and how audiences react to it. So it's been a good 8 years.
Mm-hmm. The quality, I'm sure, just gets better and better every year, and different new filmmakers come into being. So tell me a little bit of the history of who founded this film festival.
The festival was founded in 1989 by Robert Rosenberg, who is an Emmy-winning filmmaker, directed and produced Before Stonewall, which is certainly an integral work in queer cinema. And Robbie, as he's affectionately known, was at the festival for the first 4 years of it. Changed direction. There's been a lot of great staff that have come and gone, including J.Lo Plant, Philip Matthews, Carol Coombs, certainly, and everyone bringing a different perspective and adding to the festival's growth and helping it grow its reputation.
You also manage the Fort Lauderdale arm of the film festival as well, is that right?
We've been programming in Fort Lauderdale for about 5 years now, and last year made a conscious decision that we were going to separate our programming. We had done it before simultaneously, 10 days in Miami, the last 4 days also in Fort Lauderdale. But the Fort Lauderdale gay and lesbian community is just growing and has such a unique flavor to it that is very different from Miami. So we decided to launch it on its own. So our Miami festival remains in the spring, a 10-day festival, and last November we launched Fort Lauderdale Gay and Lesbian Film Festival, a 5-day festival. And it was very well received, and that's our plan to continue going forward.
Excellent. Well, that must be quite an undertaking to do 2 film festivals. It's bad enough to do one, or good enough to do one, but adding Fort Lauderdale as well, that's great, though.
It's exciting. I always say now I see even more bad films before I get to the good ones. But it's really wonderful because there's a new crop of films that come out in the fall that we miss because they're not ready yet. And then we miss the following year because they might be out on DVD already, and we have a policy of not showing anything that's out already. So we're lucky in the sense that we can approach we can approach filmmakers who have films that we would have otherwise missed. So there's a great balance of bringing new stuff, bringing some of the same stuff that we showed in Miami that was successful to Fort Lauderdale, and give local film lovers a chance to see a great LGBT film 2 times a year. You
mentioned that you don't show films that are available on DVD. That must be hard, because I know sometimes it takes a while for one film to make the rounds nationwide, and maybe by the time it's available to Miami, the producers or whatever may want to put it on DVD for various reasons. One, to make money.
Right.
So that must be hard sometimes to not be able. Do you miss films sometimes?
We absolutely certainly do miss things from time to time. But thankfully, our placement in the calendar and Miami's international reputation as an LGBT film festival is pretty strong, so we get considered as part of people's plans and how they want to do their festival circuit run and how they before they release their DVD. So we're lucky that most of what we want to get, we're able to.
The magic of Miami.
The magic city. And everybody, when they hear Miami, I would love to go to Miami in April, more so than saying, I would love to bring my film. It's like, I'd love to go to Miami, which we're fine with because we love promoting our city. So we do have a chance to show stuff right before it comes out on DVD or before it has either a small theatrical or a broadcast. We certainly do make some exceptions from time to time.
Yeah.
But the majority of our program is made up of films that have not been publicly shown in South Florida or on DVD, and might be your only opportunity to see them.
So 12 years as a nonprofit gay and lesbian film organization.
Yeah.
That's that's, to have the staying power is quite an accomplishment, I would say. You also mentioned that you have to sit through a lot of films that obviously don't make it to the programming. How about approximately how many films do you have to see?
It's hard to gauge, and it changes every year. I probably see about 500 to 600 films a year.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's it is pretty amazing. It's actually a wonderful opportunity.
Now, are these all independent type films, or do they vary to all different levels of production?
They certainly do vary. Our policies, we have an open submission, so filmmakers can directly submit their films to us. So we see the majority of things that way, of features, documentaries, and shorts. Then I also have established relationships with our distributors who bring stuff to us directly, and the quality is leaps and bounds, production-wise and story-wise, much stronger. And then I also travel to area film festivals in the United States and Canada. I go to Toronto and Sundance and Frameline, the San Francisco Festival, to source films from those festivals to bring it back. So the quality varies greatly at each level. But it's exciting to see that some of the really small indies that you don't hear about and just kind of show up in the mail one day are really wonderful and
it's a pleasant
exciting.
Surprise.
It is.
I mean, I've attended Miami's and Fort Lauderdale's gay film festival for the last number of years, and sometimes it's a hit or miss, or sometimes you're so pleasantly surprised, or there's something that just knocks your socks off, and that's the fun, I think, of a film festival. Is you kind of don't know what you're going to get, but usually you come out pleased,
Absolutely, and it's an opportunity to see something you wouldn't see otherwise.
Right.
I can't even underscore that.
Right.
Because it's just, these are things that will not come to theaters locally. Eventually, will get released on DVD, but they fall off your radar.
Right, sometimes, and that they fall off the radar. Sometimes it could be a quite a long period before that happens, or in some cases it may not happen, or it's such a small production that it's hard to get it. Perhaps I know with the internet and everything now things are changing. I saw something on. Well, I'm not going to get into YouTube, but I do want to talk about some of the great films that you have coming this year. And the festival starts March 23rd.
April 23rd.
The festival starts April 23rd, which is on a Friday.
It is.
And you're opening at the Gusman downtown. Tell us a little bit about the opening night and what that's all about.
Well, we're opening at the beautiful Gusman, which we're always so happy to go back to.
It is beautiful.
And it really does start the feeling of the festival on the right note. It gets everybody excited. We're opening this year with a film called I Killed My Mother. It's a dramedy.
It's a Christmas story.
It's right, exactly. It's something good for all children.
You said it's a dramedy.
It's a dramedy, so it's half drama, half comedy. I also love the word dramedy, so I can't say it enough. It's really stupendous filmmaking. It was Canada's official submission to the Academy Awards. Won a number of prizes at some of the world's most prestigious film festivals, including Cannes and the Toronto International Film Festival, and possibly the most interesting fact about it and surprising and admirable is that it was made by a 19-year-old filmmaker at the time, Xavier Dolan, who just impresses at every turn throughout it. It's a really remarkable piece of filmmaking, and it's a big coup for us to be able to bring it into South Florida and have it as our opening night film. So I'm very, very excited about that. And
will you have the director or somebody on hand, perhaps?
Unfortunately not this time. Because they are... our placement is always really difficult because everybody's doing a last-minute rush to either get into Cannes, which is the what's occurring with Xavier right now. He's finishing a film, trying to get it into the Cannes Film Festival, or some of the other LGBT film festivals that start up in the summer. So we're hit or miss. We're really, really lucky, which we often are.
Yeah.
Or sometimes we just get under the radar. So he unfortunately can't come in, but the evening's going to be wonderful nonetheless.